Phantom Rogues are a subclass that adds the spook to your blade. A rogue that hangs out in the graveyard and makes friends with the voices that rise from the dirt. And from those voices, they tend to learn a few things.
Wait till I ask a question. Are you evil? Once for yes, two for no.
Cryptkeepers, death worshippers, friends of necromancers, however they got here, they recover knowledge that might otherwise be lost to the grave. But we are not here to make a character like that. No, we are here to reskin and reflavor, to create a unique character or NPC to turn the ghosts that haunt you into angels that praise you, or even works of science.
Forgot about my new toys. Let's go.
Hello Acolytes, this is the Cleric Corner, and here we extend the Better Class series, which, after a year, is a long time coming. So for the uninitiated, I will be going over the features of the subclass, what it can do mechanically, and then putting a new skin on top of it to make it truly unique. Then, if you stay till the end, I promise there will be something free for you to enjoy to expand upon one of these 10 character concepts. So let's wet those blades, shall we? When you get the subclass at 3rd level, you get to change a skill or tool proficiency over a short or long rest. Additionally, when you deal sneak attack damage, you can deal half of the damage to someone 30 feet away a few times. At 9th level, you can create a token when a character dies within 30 feet of you, and with this token, you have advantage on death saves and constitution saving throws. You can ask the token a question, which you'll get an answer, and you can deal your sneak attack damage a few extra times. At 13th level, you can choose into a form that allows you to fly, albeit very slowly. Attack rolls have disadvantage against you, and you can move through other creature spaces. At 14th level, your extra sneak attack damage increases, and you gain an extra token at the beginning of every day. Now, did you notice I didn't say what the features were called? That was on purpose, because when we reflavor, they don't matter. The first feature could be called Wails of the Grave, or it could be called Angelic Penance. Both mechanically do the exact same thing, but gives two entirely different vibes, which leads us to our first character concept. The bishop is a religious figure by all accounts, and still deals with the dead, but offers eulogies and veneration for the dead. Their purpose is to bring solace and peace to families of the recently departed, and has thus gained a closeness with the deceased. Even hearing the last confessions as they pass on, whether it be to heaven or to hell.
We must alert the church elders.
Or we don't have to focus on the dead at all, but we know that the veil between here and heaven, or whatever it is there, becomes thin when someone dies, allowing the bishop to talk to angels for information. You pull righteous penance with your gaze like Ghost Rider as you enact righteous justice with your blade. And maybe angels themselves might lend you their wings. But then there are also some who deal with the dead in less honest terms. The tarot is also one that works with the dead, but in a more esoteric and seance-y kind of way. You know the type, those that take speaking with the dead to an occupation with crystal balls and tarot cards.
Ooh, tarot cards, freaky!
The College of Spirits bard type of character. And with all the haunted objects that you appraised, you might be a little haunted yourself, or possibly, just maybe, you have no magical gift whatsoever and your abilities are just a facade, bringing your pulleys of levitation and fancy light tricks to the field with you. But there are also those who deal in esoteric magic for real. The Witch is exactly what it sounds like, a hag that deals in black magic and is comfortable in things that make normal men squeamish. Now you might realize that Phantom Rogues don't have magic, so we are focusing on one aspect of this witch, where you specialize in something called Haruspices or Haruspices, the practice of divination through the entrails and guts of creatures.
If these divinations are correct, the fallen star lies 100 miles away.
So when something dies, a quick look at their innards will give up information that could prove useful. The tokens that you collect are the internal body parts to look at later if you're in a rush.
I've his kidney.
I've his liver. And I've his heart.
But just as there are witches, there are also wizards. A couple weeks ago, I came out with a video about spellbooks and alternate ways to get spells. Instead of finding them from spell scrolls, you can pull the essence of creatures to learn new spells from their abilities. You can check out that video up here. But again, you're a rogue and you can't cast spells. but you can use their essence in a different way to gain knowledge that is intertwined with it. You can also use the essence to protect you in some cases, or damage other creatures with it. It is a magical essence after all, and you can manipulate it in very interesting ways. There are multiple facets to a living being. You're just taking their magical essence instead of their soul, and that may give you the ability to go ethereal or even fly. And speaking of flying, there may be only a few hours left for you to choose into something great for your TTRPG games. The Wandering Tavern, a floating city setting for both your 5e and similar games, is in its last days of fulfillment. If you like Skypunk or Studio Ghibli, you will love the combination of the two. Huge battle maps, story hooks, NPCs, magic items, airships, and much, much more. Everything is done for you to play a little of your own castle in the sky kind of stories. Sponsored by the father and son team Homie and the Dude, they have really pulled out all the stops when it comes to a full flying city tavern for you to enjoy, explore, and fight spirits of the dead. You can find a link in the description for the Kickstarter, and you will be benefiting both the wonderful creators there and the Cleric Corner channel as well. And remember, the last day is May 9th, so hurry and back it before it's too late. And now, let's get back to the magic of rogues. The Archivist takes inspiration from the Wizard as well, being proficient with recording knowledge and keeping detailed record of important things. In most cases, you can find writings or journals on the carcasses of those that are killed, so you can learn about them that way.
Well, after he died, I found his journal.
When it comes to flying and moving through creatures, you're just really good at staying out of the way, and maybe you can cast fly from one of the books you found. And your dagger, when you pierce one creature, you can create a tiny little portal on your blade to make it come out of the chest of another creature nearby. Two birds with one stone, as they say. But when it comes to knowledge and obtaining it, there are some that even go to more horrifying lengths. The Eldritch is a creature of madness. They see things that others do not, at much expense to their sanity. They have been exposed to something their mind can't comprehend, causing their consciousness to rupture and be vulnerable to the knowledge and minds of those around them, especially vulnerable upon the shock of death. They are gifted with partial psionic abilities to pick up on these last frequencies upon death, making yourself fly with telekinesis and damage minds that witness your maddening state.
Driven mad by your own flesh.
Sure, you can learn things, but at what cost? Besides, I think there are ways that you can bypass the process with technology. The Fringe is inspired by a TV show of the same name. It's an inventor interested in fringe sciences, or pseudosciences, of astral projection, telepathic communication, psychokinesis, nanotechnology, and so on. In fact, one of the early episodes in the TV series featured a machine that could take a picture of the last thing a dead person saw, an image frozen in the optic nerve of the eye, or some other contraption to pull the memories from the brain with a little artificer flavor. You're able to see the last few memories of the deceased through the device you made. Astral projection is something you master at later levels or fly from some other device that you make, but just as we took inspiration from the artificer, what about another melee class? The monk is just really good at matching magical abilities with mere feats of strength or dexterity. So with this rogue of yours, there is nothing magical about their ability to learn new things and attack two people at once. Instead, your intense meditation can reveal hidden things, and your lightning fast dexterity allows you to attack with one blade while sending another flying to a second target.
Lightning fast, very skilled.
Your double jumps on air or air walks are powered by your own ki. I think similarly you could flavor a fighter character, but taking inspiration from another class might be a little bit more difficult. The Seed takes inspiration from the Druid, and a little behind the scenes of these videos, I often try to put the mechanics in the context of other classes and see how to make them work. I ask, what would this look like in a multi-classing situation?
It's not gonna fit you.
Sure it will.
And Druid proved a tad difficult, but here it is. This rogue looks best as a ranged combatant, throwing quick growing seeds to damage two characters at once, and storing the knowledge of the deceased in seeds, maybe even allowing one to grow into the carcass to pull out the essences within, draining more than just water. Your daily revelations or changes in skills could be attuning to the earth itself. And now there is one more class that I want to highlight as well. The Bloody gets their skill in Bloodcraft, like the Blood Hunter, taking the blood from one creature, hardening it, and stabbing the next. When something dies, the tokens you collect are in the form of vials of blood that you take from them, able to pull information through beginner's hemomancy, and your bloodbending gives you feats of power when you need it. Blood magic has many uses after all, and I'm sure that there are many other concepts that the unique abilities of the Phantom Rogue provide. So tell me about your unique rogue characters or how you would flavor it differently in the comments below. But now for the fun part. With all of these concepts, which one do you think would be interesting to flesh out in its own new subclass? Recently in my videos, I've been providing free homebrew as both a thank you and to give back to the community. So for the first 24 hours of the video, comment below which concept you would like a subclass for. And then once it's done, I will link it in the description below for free for you. If you wish to support me and the channel in other ways, you can check out my Patreon for additional perks also linked below. For more videos on other subclasses, check out these videos here. But for now, go out there and make your worlds a better place. See ya.